show me the billboard on celery.
Again, I used to think that you could get B12 from the soil and water.
I really, really hope that he hasn't been getting his B12 from the soil. Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video. If you're new here, then welcome to my channel. My name is Alitza, and I am super passionate about anything related to health, nutrition, fitness, veganism, basically anything along those lines, and I love to vlog. So if you're interested in any of those things, then make sure you hit the subscribe button and stay tuned for further videos. So, today we are making a video response to Jon Venus no longer being vegan, which came as a bit of a surprise to me because he has been such an advocate for veganism for 5 years now. Him and his wife and family, now they have a child, they've both been huge advocates for veganism and health. And yeah, I've been following them for a long time and been watching their videos, so I'm a bit surprised. And so we're gonna watch this video and respond to it. I also want to quickly mention that this video that I'm about to make is not with the intention of him ever watching it and changing his mind. It is purely for anybody that watches this video and might actually believe any of his bullshit. So here we go. Without further ado, let's watch this video.
I'm not here to judge you for doing whatever you feel is right for you, your family, and your community. I'm not here to tell you what is objectively right or what is wrong. And I'm not here to listen to your arguments and to your opinions either. I am just here to tell you guys my experiences, my shift in perspective, my new life choice. The best way to start this is talking about when this whole question mark started coming into my life. I think this is a good way to start. So 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago, I became a dad, a father. And when I'm not going to speak for every parent out there, but for me especially, when I became a dad, and even before when we were pregnant, a lot of, responsibility came into my life. A lot of, difficult questions that I had to, answer, different kind of philosophical ideas that I had to think through. And I think we can all agree, or people who have looked into the scientific literature, we can agree that nutrition itself is a very confusing and not really understood topic.
So he's a dad, there's a philosophical question, and science. How do those things relate? What philosophical questions? What concerns? What science? Slightly confused as to where he's going with this, but let's just go with it.
And it is, understood to a certain degree, but there are very many question marks. So you take a study and you use that study to come to a conclusion, but then another person with a whole another opinion will take that same exact study and come to the opposite conclusion to someone else.
Yes, there do in fact exist conflicting studies to absolutely every topic, every theory out there. So just because there are conflicting studies that exist, does that mean that now we're just going to go ahead and follow the herd just because those things exist?
A lot of times when you're vegan, especially for me, you are in this bubble. You are in the mindset of, we are doing something that is ethical. We're doing this because it feels right in every single way. And this is my perspective, and because this is my perspective, we're only going to listen to other people with the same perspective that have the same mission to eliminate animal suffering, to live a plant-based lifestyle, a vegan diet, and so on. So it becomes almost like you have to only look for answers and research that comes from people that is going to support your bias. Anything outside of pro-vegan becomes the opposite, right? So there is no neutral point of view with this mindset. It's either vegan, pro-vegan, or it's anti-vegan and pro-meat eating and pro-murder and death and these things. And this is the mindset that is, I was in that mindset myself, so I know that is the dominant mindset for a lot of people.
Then change that mindset. Why change your whole belief system? Why change your whole diet? Why change your whole lifestyle? Of course there's going to be people that believe only the people that have the same opinions as them, and they're going to trust them because those people have the same opinions. Obviously, But like for me personally, I can't say that because my nutritionist is not vegan and she's not pro-vegan, and I still fully trust her.
I have never claimed that the science, proves that a vegan diet, 100% vegan diet is the best for optimal health. But I truly believe that for the, last 4 years, I think the last year I've been questioning a lot of things, but for the vast majority of the time that I was vegan, I really actually believed that it was optimal for human health.
So you didn't believe it? You never said it, you didn't believe it, but you did believe it for the past 5 years? Okay, like, I understand that as a father, he is questioning these beliefs more in depth because he feels like he has more responsibility, obviously. But what about before he was a father, when all he was a health coach and an advocate for health and fitness, influencing the health and fitness of other individuals who had a lot of trust in him? What about then? Did he not question these beliefs as in depth before? When shit got real, he doesn't believe it anymore. Yet he was making money off of it.
Because that is what we're being sold. Big organizations like the American Dietetics Association.
Let's back up, hang on.
All that makes to...
Okay, like, sorry to say this, but this video, he keeps throwing in random different things and I'm so confused. But let me just back up for a bit. Okay, hang on. So, what's he saying?
Because that is what we're being sold. Big organizations like the American Dietetics Association, all that mixed together makes it extremely easy to just believe 100% that you are doing the right thing. And I'm not saying that it's a wrong thing, but it makes it easy not to question it and look at the opposite or another different point of view. After looking into the Dietetics Association, corporate ties, all these, different corruptions that are going on, and looking at the science for, children especially, because this is the reason why I started questioning everything. There is extremely little science, and I am not convinced at all by the science that is used to support those.
Okay. Back up. The American Dietetics Association, a group of non-vegan healthcare professionals, are simply saying that a plant-based vegan diet is in fact nutritionally adequate. The American Dietetics Association, a government association, a group of healthcare professionals, it's like they're shoving their beliefs down someone's throat. He's saying it like that. Show me the billboard on celery, John. Show me the billboard on celery. Like, do you know who is doing that though? The meat, dairy, and egg industry, who is putting thousands and thousands of dollars trying to convince the human population that milk, dairy, and eggs is necessary for their survival. Do you know who's not doing that? The non-vegan group of health professionals that are simply saying that a vegan diet is nutritionally adequate, but they're not having to put a bunch of money into these ads to convince people of one thing so that they buy their products because they're actually just a business. They're not doing that because they don't need to, because it's really not necessary the way that it is to convince the human population that we need milk for calcium. That's not as believable as something like, hey, your diet, your vegan diet, it's fine. You're doing fine. And he's talking about it like somebody is literally shoving ads for celery into his face. Like, show me the billboard on celery, John, please.
Those claims, and I strongly believe that we cannot, say for certain that one thing.
There's a lot of science.
There's something like a vegan diet, 100% vegan diet is going to be optimal for kids. It may be optimal. I'm not saying that it's not. And we look up to so many vegan parents that are doing an amazing job raising vegan kids, and we respect them so much.
So you don't believe that the vegan diet is healthy for your kid. You're not convinced. However, you do see personally in your personal life, you see a bunch of vegan parents that are raising their kids on a vegan diet, and they're doing a great job.
I'm not comfortable of dismissing, hundreds of thousands of years or even millions of years of a certain, eating pattern, and instead do something that requires supplementation to make possible, like B12, because again, I used to think that you could get B12 from the soil and water.
I really, really hope that he hasn't been getting his B12 from the soil and water, because that would explain a lot of whatever these health concerns that are going on. There is no healthcare professional that will ever say that it's necessary to eat soil for B12. They're just gonna tell you to take a supplement. Okay, so I have a lot of thoughts here. So yes, vegans do need to supplement B12. That is the one missing component to a vegan diet. Please, if you are vegan, take a B12 supplement. Do not get your B12 from soil. Please don't do that. This is a very circumstance thing. So it's like, if I'm living in a place that does not have a lot of sunlight, I'm probably going to have to take a vitamin D supplement because it's important for my survival and because it's a circumstance of where I live. There is going to be certain circumstances under which we are going to need to supplement. This is a reason for why 70% of like the human population, or of the American population, don't quote me on this, I don't actually know these facts fully, are deficient in a lot of things, and also B12. So I recently heard that like, I think 75% of all Americans are B12 deficient and 75% of all Americans are not vegan. So B12 is a very real thing for absolutely every single person. Deficiencies happen because our food, in the way it's grown, our grocery store food, is depleted of nutrients. It is not grown on sunlit fields, unfortunately. It is literally being injected with crap in order for it to grow. And this goes for vegetables, and this goes also for meat. Meat, like the cows, the chickens, the animals that we're eating from the grocery store, they are not walking around on sunlit fields eating freshly green grass. They are being fed nutrient depleted soy, nutrient depleted corn, antibiotics, growth hormone, a bunch of hormones, and being fortified with all of the nutrients that non-vegans claim they are getting from meat and not from the vegan diet. Okay? If hypothetically we wanted to eat all of our nutrients only and purely from food, we would need to be getting it from a farm, or we would need to be buying it organic, and we would need to be very careful of that. Unfortunately, otherwise we might actually get very deficient in nutrients, and this is simply just a circumstance of the world we live in. So Jon is saying how he would rather be eating this nutrient-rich standard American diet rather than eating a vegan diet and having to supplement. On a vegan diet, you're supplementing one nutrient, which is B12, which you would probably also not be getting very much of on an animal-based diet. You're eating grocery store meat, which is fortified with the exact same tiny supplement that you would take per day, and also get all of the downsides of potential heart disease, potential cancer, potential diabetes, and all of the growth hormone and antibiotics and all of the shit I don't even want to go into that's in it. So in my opinion, that's such a tiny price to pay. I don't think that that's as big of a deal as he is making it. Another way that I like to look at it is like, okay, so I'm either going to be a vegan and take one B12 supplement per day, or I'm going to be eating an animal-based diet and potentially on a whole other bucket of medications in the future as a result of eating animal-based products. Let's continue.
And that there is no scientific evidence for that to be true. And it doesn't make sense for me to go with a new method, which I could call an experiment, and I don't want to give any personal information, so I'm not gonna talk in detail about any of that. And I just don't want to be responsible or even seem like I am saying that this is the better way for kids to grow up.
He sounds like an anti-vax parent that had their one child have one reaction to a vaccine, and now he's changed his entire belief system on vaccines whatsoever for literally every other human being, every other child on the planet, because of his one child having a reaction. I know that that's not the reality. I know that that's not what he's saying, but I'm saying it sounds like that.
And if I don't feel comfortable with my kid being vegan, I cannot continue that lifestyle myself.
Why? Why? I get that he wants to be a role model for his child, obviously, but I don't understand how it would change the whole belief system just because you don't want one thing for your child. I wouldn't want my child drinking alcohol. That doesn't mean that I'm not going to drink it. And I know that that's a different extreme, and I get that he's trying to be a role model for his child, but it still doesn't make sense to me how he can still be vegan while his child is going to be introduced to some animal products.
And I don't care if, someone watching feels extremely offended, because it's not about you, it's not about me. This is just, the reality of the situation regarding, real life as, a parent and the responsibilities that come along.
Okay, I have an issue here with this, because hypothetically, if I was a parent right now and I had a child and I trusted him and had believed him for many years and had the same values as him for many years, because he's a health coach and because he's been an advocate for, all of these values and beliefs in the past, I would be really scared for my child right now because of the way he's talking, right? But he's not giving any information. Now, of course, he doesn't owe anybody an explanation. He doesn't owe anybody his personal reasoning. I get that. He gets to protect his own personal life. But I feel like just with the way that his channel and his whole following has been structured and how he is an advocate for health, I feel like as a parent, I would want to know what changed his mind in order to protect my child as well. I just really think that there's a huge difference between saying, I don't care what you think, and this isn't about you, this isn't about me, versus saying, hey, I made a huge mistake, or one of my close friends made a huge mistake with their child. Don't make the same mistake that we did, and watch this particular aspect of veganism, and don't make the same mistake with your child. There's a huge difference between saying that and saying, oh, I don't care what you think, I don't care what anyone says, this is just what I'm going to do now. I really feel like if he truly cared about the health of his followers, as he has claimed to and profited off of for a long time now, it would be really helpful here to potentially pull out a study or pull out some evidence. Like, give your followers something that will protect them from making the same mistakes that you have, or for making a mistake that you fear you are going to make by feeding your child a vegan diet.
And I still will be coaching vegans and helping vegans to thrive.
So I'm really fearful for my child. I'm really fearful that this is not the best thing for my child. I don't feel comfortable as a parent giving my child only plants to eat, but I'm still going to be coaching you.
I cannot be certain of the long-term implications of the diets. Just because it works extremely well and helps reverse disease in the short term, it doesn't really translate into what happens and what the limitations are long-term.
But you can be certain of the long-term implications of eating meat, because that has been proven time and time again. So he knows damn well that eating meat can create a lot of health problems in people, and he's going to risk heart disease and cancer and diabetes for himself, his wife, and his child.
Friends have kind of divorced themselves from me and like not wanting to have anything to do with me anymore. And this is like people who I thought were really good friends, and other friends, really very close friends, who said, that that they respect my choice and everything like that.
You friends.
But they can't be seen with me publicly.
My best friend used to be vegan and then went back to eating an animal-based diet. My mom used to be vegan and then went back to eating an animal-based diet. I'm vegan, they're not. They're still, my best friend is still my best friend. My mom is still my mom. We're all very close. The whole vegan thing has never ever played a role in our relationship. It's never been a problem. So maybe you need to get new friends, John. Maybe that's a good thing that they divorced you.
Because that is bad for their image, because the vegan movement is so toxic and so judgmental. So, this is not an easy issue. And it's so sad that the vegan movement has so many people that are so judgmental and have such superiority complex. I'm not scared of getting flack for any of this. I've done this, several times in the past, and I just don't care. I'm just here sharing my opinion.
Like, yeah, okay, I know that the vegan movement can be toxic, but again, I really just feel like that depends on individual people and the choices that they make and the words that they say. I don't think that that's the movement as a whole, because every single movement out there, what we're seeing currently with the whole racism issue in the world, like, there's toxicity in that too. There's toxicity on each side. So I don't think that that's like a vegan thing. I think that's just, if you stand for anything and if you're passionate about absolutely anything, there's going to be opposing sides and there's going to be toxicity related to that. Sorry guys, my camera died. Okay, so just to conclude all of that, I think the biggest issue that I have with all of this is the fact that he says he doesn't want to give out personal information, which is totally fine, but the fact that he won't give anything instead of that to be like, hey guys, this was a real issue for me, so much so that not only my child but also my whole family can't be vegan, and he won't say what that actual information is. Even if he just brushed over it or something, that would be, I feel like, a lot better than just being like, hey guys, I can't really share anything with you, even though like I've been an advocate for health this whole time, but I can't share anything with you at all. I just feel like that's potentially very scary to a lot of parents. Otherwise, I mean, he's no longer vegan, but at the end of the day, he had a huge influence on a lot of people, which is a positive thing. He influenced people, including myself, to be vegan and to stay vegan. So I think that that's a positive thing, regardless of what his family does now. And at the end of the day, like, it's good for them. I mean, if they really believe that this is the best thing for them, then good for them. Like, I'm not trying to hate on him. Like, he's just doing his best, you know? We're all just doing our best. But I definitely think that there is a much smarter way to handle these situations and handle these issues. That's all for this video. I hope that you guys enjoyed, and thank you so much for watching. If you guys have any comments or questions on anything that I said, then please leave them down below, and make sure you like this video and subscribe for future videos. And again, thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.